Hi people, how you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Jikoni Time with Obai. It's another exciting episode to be with you, and I'm happy to be here to bring new recipes. And thank you so much for the interactions. Thank you for the comments, and thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions. I do not take them for granted. I hope wherever you are washing your hands, you're maintaining the hygiene, you are sanitizing your surfaces, you're keeping social distance and staying at home whenever you can. So today I want us to learn something new, a technique of making samosa pockets. I promised some people that I'll do this before April Fools. Josephine, Mercy, Apollo, now waona hapo, let's do this because you have really wanted to learn how to make samosa pockets. And on my ingredients, I have very simple things. I have all-purpose wheat flour. I have salt. I have cold water. I do not use warm water because makes the dough a bit wobbly and does not stick together very well. So cold water works for me, but you can use either depending on the technique and how fast you can adapt to this. Of course, on the side I have my minced meat, which I'll not dwell on today. I'll dwell on making the pocket. So sit back, relax and enjoy, and let's do this. Here are my ingredients at a closer look. So here are my ingredients. This is half a kg of all-purpose flour. This is my minced meat. My minced meat, which I told you today I will not concentrate on, but it's already done. I have my salt there. I have my cold water, and this is basically cooking oil. I have my equipment there to facilitate this process. So let's do this. So people, I have my flour is in this thing. It's half a kg. Half a kg can give me around 40 pockets, depending on how I cut my dough out. So what I'll do, I'll just clear my surface and show you how this is done. So my flour is here. What I'll do, I'll put in salt, depending on the taste and preference, but salt has to be very, very kidogo, because remember the minced meat, some of the kima, umetengeneza ile kima yako umeiweka chumvi, so you do not need to put a lot of salt in the flour. Then you mix the flour nicely. Make sure the salt mixes in the flour vizuri. After you mix this flour, I like using my hands because I trust my hands more than using a cooking stick or mwiko. That's not how I do it, so I use my hands. So this is cold water. As I told you, I do not use warm water because of making the dough a bit wobbly after some time. So the cold water helps to hold the dough together. So what I'll do, I'll just add in the water, pole pole, making sure I do not overdo it, because I need the dough a bit harder than the chapati dough or mandazi dough or donut dough. The dough has to be a bit harder because the technique I use, you have to pile this the balls you make, and so what I'll do, I'll just kanda the unga, then I'll show you at a closer look how hard it is. But I don't want it to be not again too hard that it will disturb you on rolling. So this is the first step, and after you're done with making your dough, you will make the small balls, and then now the technique of applying cooking oil and rolling them is what will follow next. So keep here. I'll show you how the dough looks in a bit. So that's how my dough looks like. It's a bit hard, but just make sure when you press it like that, it bounces back to you, so that it's easier to also roll and help you do the balls. And even when you rolling, you make sure it's not too cumbersome. So here is my flour. What I'll do, I'll just cut it like that into the smaller balls, depending on how many how many samosas you want to make. it will determine the number of the balls you also make. So this is almost the size of you can see it gets into my hand completely. In fact, this is a bit big, so you reduce it accordingly. Make sure it fits in your fist like that. So when it fits in your fist like that, you know, completely in your fist. So you just make the small the two small balls and put them on the side. As you roll them, they will be resting, of course. Remember, these are very small. They are not like chapo, because for the chapatis they are bigger. So this is twice or thrice smaller than the normal chapo balls. Hey, Susie, leo utaki nifanye video. My neighbor is booming music. She doesn't want me to do the video. Susie, Chris, I'm shooting a video. This is how I do it. So I'll show you when I'll be rolling them. So I guess everybody understands how to make the balls. So at some point I'll have to show you how smaller it is. I told you it's a fist. If it completely fits in your fist, then that's it. That's all you need. That's like a round thing. So this is what has come out of the dough that I've made. The small balls, this could give me up to around 40 pockets of samosas. Remember, the flour you're using is the wheat flour, but all-purpose. Do not use self-raising. This is another part where you need to pay attention. Now what I'll do, I'll roll these small balls into some small chapos. I'll roll, usually I do 4 or 5 at a bit, but if you are a learner, please do as less as possible. You can do 3 on the minimum side, so that it doesn't give you a hard time when you're rolling it into one big chapo. But since I'm used to this, I do 5 or 6 or at times even 7, depending on the bulk of work that I have. It makes it easier. So I'll roll it to that size. You can see it's a very small size. I'll put it on the side. Oh, sorry about that. Let me do another. So remember to roll them almost the same size, and do not fear to try it out kama zina fit pamoja. So if they don't fit, make sure you try as much as you can to make it also a bit round. So when you get almost the same size, that's advisable. So that's good. I'll do another. For me, I'll do at least 4, because I want you to try by doing 4 as a minimum. It's easier that way. Again, we try if it fits with the rest. Yes, those are 3. Let me do the 4th one. So this is it. They're now okay. So I have 4 of them now rolled up. As you can see, they're almost the same size. What I'll do, I'll just now pile them up. As I pile them up, I will apply cooking oil. Please remember, I'm applying cooking oil on one at a time. Make sure you apply on the whole surface of of the roll that you've made. You can see mine looks very, very neat. It has cooking oil all over. Then I'll pick this, the dry one, and place on top of this, the one that I had applied oil on. So as I do that, I make sure they almost fit on the edges. What I'll do, I will apply oil on the next, after I have made sure the edges fit, are almost on the same size. But if you're not very perfect, you can just roll it, and then you can use a round thing to cut it out so that it gives you a very perfect shape. As you can see, that's it. I will add this on top again, there. And when I add, I make sure the edges are almost in sync. So what I'll do, I'll apply cooking oil again on this one. As you can see, it's very simple, just that you have to be very keen on this technique, because at the end of the day, you will have to roll this into one and make just one big chapo. So the last one, which is the fourth one, I will just place it on top here, and that's it. So what I'll do, I will want to roll this now into one big chapo. But now here is where the technique is a bit tricky, because you have to roll and make sure all the edges are moving in sync. So as you roll, make sure you pull the ones that are remaining behind, so that they just go together, especially the last ones on the edge. They tend to baki nyuma. So roll it again. As you increase the size, make sure you maintain the edges. Just pull that at the edge, pull that at the edge. Keep increasing the size as you go. Increase, make sure the edges are okay. Pull it to the edge, make sure they are all in sync. The edges have to be almost perfect. As we roll, it makes your crust thinner. And I like thin crust because it helps the meat also cook very nicely, and people usually don't like the thick one, the thick crust on samosas. So mine, I like it very, very thin. Keep rolling. As you increase the size, you can see it becoming one big chapo, one big circle. Depending on the size of samosa that you want, roll it to fit your size. So as you can see, this is big enough. What I'll do after that, if you are not perfect on the edges, if it's not very round, you can get a plate, just place on top here, then cut round the edge like this to make it a bit too circular. But mine is almost perfect. As you can see, it's so straight and round. Maybe I show you on a closer look how this looks like. So basically that's how it is. As you can see, my edges are almost perfect, and if you're not sure that your edges are perfect enough, or you can use something round, just place it on top here and then cut on the edge like this, round. You cut it on so that you make it more synchronized, but as you can see, mine looks almost perfect. So what I'll do, I'll cut this here and then cut here at the center, so that you make, what do you call them? My pan is hot, so what I'll do, I'll just place that there. I'll let it a bit, don't let it cook, just on the sides a bit, to just make sure it's dry on both sides. As you can see, it's dry, because if you let it dry too much again, it will give you a hassle on removing them. I'll place that there. So from the pan I have this. What I'll do, I'll remove this and just place on the side. You remove them slowly because they are very brittle, they can easily tear up. Remove the next one. Usually I start with the ones at the edge. So there is the second one. You can see my crust is very thin, and I love it when it's thin like that. So just remove it pole pole. There is my next one, and there is my last one. So there are four. Make sure there are four when you're removing them. So this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. So here are my 2 small balls. I want to roll this into small chapels. Again, this is my second batch. Remember, I've done the first one with you. We've seen how it has gone. So let's do that again. 1, try to make them as cylindrical as possible, zikuwe tu round vizuri. Tengeneze map ya Africa, because again it will give you such a hard time. That one, 2. This time round I'll do 5. Try and make sure they're the same size. That 3. Four. Let me do the last one, because usually I want to do 5. It's easier for me. When I do them kidogo kidogo, I feel I'm wasting a lot of time. So this is 5. They're almost the same size again. Remember, that is the secret. So 1, I'll do my mafuta there. Upake mafuta sehemu zote. Make sure it's all wet na mafuta. Put that on top. Apply cooking oil on the second one. Your cooking oil is your choice. The brand is your choice. Can be vegetable oil from wherever. This one, the third one, there. I know this is the place that this is where this technique helps people, but remember there are various techniques. People use different techniques to do samosa pocket. So this is what I use. There are a million ways to do this, so you can as you practice you will find out that there are more easier ways to do this, but this is so easy for me, so I follow this. There are those who roll 1 1 1, but I can't. There goes the last one. So I'll just try and make sure the edges are almost the same, so that when I start rolling, I roll them as one. So that's it. I'll start rolling that as they overlap. Make sure you also keep up with them. They really remain behind. Turn it, especially the ones on the last the edge. The ones on the edge make it a bit hard for you. So make sure you pace up with them. Just pull it so that you make sure the edges are almost on the same page, so that you get an almost perfect shape. There you go. As they overlap, please make sure you follow it up pole pole. Make sure zinashikana kabisa. Roll it up until you feel You want the size. The size you want is what is up. So the size of the samosa depends on how big you roll your dough. So that's how it looks. So this is the size I want. What I'll do, I'll cut across at the center. I'll do like a cross, so I'll do that again. And this is what I get, and this is what goes on the pan. So this is what has come from the pan. The batches zimeshikana vizuri. I'll peel them off one by one slowly. One. Remember I did 5, so we are counting 5. Eh? So that is 1. 2, 3. The last one. 4 and 5. There you go. You can see my ninis are ready. So what I'll do, I'll tengeneza a paste to just glue it up. It will act as my glue. So I have a mug here. I'll put in some water, just enough, because I need to make like 20 samosas. So I'll put enough just to tengeneza enough glue. Then I'll do a bit of unga. Make sure the paste is a bit heavy and heavy nicely. I'll beat it up, mix it up well, so that the flour and the flour and the water can give me a paste of a consistency. A very good consistency, should be smooth. So keep adding flour until the paste is heavy enough. Make sure you get that right consistency. Because you need it to be like glue. This is what you will glue your nguos together. Ini pegs. Pegs ya paste. So mine is still not very, the consistency I want is not yet there. Nitaongeza kaunga. You add until you feel it's I'll show you the consistency I'm looking at and the heaviness I'm looking at, because when I do like that, that is still very, very light, though it's becoming more of a I'll keep adding there until I get what I want. So that is almost, I like it when it's heavy enough so that it glues up the samosa pockets nicely. It doesn't wachana every other time. So make sure your paste is heavy enough. I want it dripping like this. I don't want it to be as smooth as it looks. So I'll continue doing that until I get that consistency that I want, and this looks more like it. That's it. So because you can see now it's dropping and not dripping. Let's beat it to firm it up very, very, very well. Yeah, that's it. So I'll do the next step, which is also very, very, very necessary, but very tricky. So this is the next step. So you see, I have that that pocket that is not yet covered. So what I'll do, just place it on a surface, flat surface, fold on one side like that, so that you have something like this. fold it there, apply your paste. Apply your paste there. Then make sure at the top here there is no space that you leave, so that you make something like this. It's more of a pocket, as you can see. So what I'll do, I'll place it in between my hands, just like that. And then I will add my minced meat in there. As I add my minced meat in there, it looks like that. So it already has minced meat. So I will fold here. I don't know if that will be clear enough, but I will fold it here. Leaving this other part so that it looks like that. Leaving this upper part open. So I will just, after I do that, I will apply this paste on top here, on top of this surface. Make sure my edges are locked nicely. So I fold it up there like that. So my samosa looks like that. As you can see. Let's try another. Let me pick another nguo. So this is one. What I'll do, I will fold here on my right side. Make sure it's in line from top to bottom. The edges are aligned. Apply my glue there. Take this other side, my left side, and fold on top of the right side that I had folded earlier. Then it looks like that. So this is how it is. Then you place it in between your hands like that. A bit tricky because of the camera, but as you can see, it looks in between your fingers, it looks like that. Then I put in minced meat, which is my filling. You can use ndengu, you can use maragwe, you can use waru. So yeah, so fold in between again the upper part, and then this that remains is where I put my glue. I put my glue there, and then I place this on top. And my samosa looks like that. It's as neat as it can get. So I will try another one again. This is it. Place it on a flat surface. My right side goes first. The edge is streamlined to the bottom, from the top to the bottom. Apply my glue there. Fold it on top of this one, and I have something like that. So on this, I will do that, open it up, place it between my thumb and fingers there. That's how it sits. Then in hapo katikati, hapo ndani, the pocket, ninaweka nyama ambayo ni minced meat, kima in Swahili. So as it fits in there nicely, you see the upper part, fold it again, apple. Fold it, make sure the edges are intact, there's no space, and then apply glue on this upper part that remains. Then fold that on top of the samosa. The samosa looks like that. I will do one more so that we're just consistent on this. Fold that. That goes on top there. That's what I get. Open it up. Place in between your thumb and fingers. Place some nyama in there. Then fold. This is how it looks like. Then this is the part we are folding in. Fold in. Fold in there. Then go with the glue on this remaining part. Make sure your spaces are tight so that it doesn't get in there. Then fold this on top of that, and you get something like that. So at a very closer look, this is how my samosas look like. So there goes my cooking oil. My cooking oil is almost hot, so what I'll do, I'll just test it with some unga and see. So it's ready, so I'll just drop in my samosas. Make sure it's not very hot, because if you do too hot, again, the cooking oil to be too hot, it makes the samosas get the bubbles. You know, the samosas with rashes. That is because the cooking oil again is too hot. You don't need to make it too hot, just warm enough to cook up the samosas. So that's how they look. After that, I'll just I'll place them there to drip the oil. As you can see, the mesh. We'll keep turning them to see how they're cooking. Okay, so give them time to brown a bit. Some people like them a bit whitish. I like them golden brown, so depends with your preference, but I like them crunchy. So that's almost it. So that's how they're cooking, and as you can see, they're turning to be very nice in terms of color. The color is brown nicely. The more they turn brown, the more crunchy they are. Again, do not let them to turn too dark, so that when you're serving them, they look meh. They look like zimepikiwa na mafuta tu ingine hapo sijui ya color gani. So just let them cook up to a very nice golden brown. Keep turning them to see how the color is forming up, so that you don't overdo the color. So that's it. I think they're very nicely golden brown right now. What I'll do, I'll just remove them. As you can see, they are very, very, very good looking. I'll place them there on the mesh so that they drip water. Once they drip water, as this drips, or not water, the cooking oil, as they drip, I will add in more samosas. So there goes my samosas. They're ready, and the color is amazingly nice. So what I'll do, I'll just serve them on my platter. And as you can see, I have some lemon there, I have some chili there, some green chili, just to go along with this nice platter of samosas. You can serve them 3, you can serve them 4, depending on how you want it. And you have happy guests there. So clearly it's something you can do any day at your house, especially weekends. So people, that's it on samosas. I hope this video helps you to make good samosas and make good samosa pockets. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jikoni Time. Let's keep the fun going. Salim, Josephine, Sarah, thank you for the comments. Please continue watching, and do not forget to leave a comment in case you have a query. Slide in my DM. I'll be able to respond to your queries. And remember to wash your hands. Remember to sanitize your surfaces. Maintain the hygiene. Remember to keep social distance and stay at home if you can. And until next time, I say God bless you. And do not forget to hit the subscription button. Bye-bye.